Freaky fun for everyone, sold separately from Amtoy.
Madball.
Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and it's nice to have a breather, huh? Especially after the past month or 5. It's just so much craziness. And while there's plenty to talk about today, there seems to always be something to talk about. I feel like there's some breathing room. I can ramble. Well, okay. Nothing's ever stopped me from rambling before, but I can ramble more now, right? I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad. No, I'm not saying things are coming to a crashing halt. In fact, this may be just a lull, because toy companies don't know what to do in the current climate. They're trying to catch up. Oh, do we sell this here? What's going online? No, that sucks, so let's not do that again. So everybody's feeling things out, trying to figure out where to go from here, and there seems to be a lot of misses lately, but I don't know. I'm just over here talking about solicitations, new toy pictures, announcements, etc. First up, Super7 recently announced that they were doing a collaboration with Disney, and it made me realize that there aren't a lot of super articulated action figures based on their classic cartoons and movies. Loads of statues, some figures with basic articulation, and I guess there's the Hero Cross metal figuration stuff that looks good. But to a casual fan like me, there's not a lot out there, especially from the commonly known companies. So when Super7 revealed that they were doing it in Ultimates style, it surprised me. I was even more caught off guard by some of the character choices in the first series. Okay, Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey was a pretty safe bet. You get a Disney line, you bow to the mouse. And I guess Pinocchio isn't too far off the beaten path, but you go with Prince John from Robin Hood? Ooh-da lolly. Mickey comes with 3 different heads, multiple hands, a broom with a couple of buckets of water to carry, and an axe. Pinocchio has alternate limb twigs, 3 heads, fishbowl, apple, book, Figaro, and Jiminy Cricket. And then Prince John has various paws, 3 heads, mirror, and Sir Hiss. The line mixes in soft goods with the robes for both Prince John and Mickey, and the prototypes do look a little rough, but the 4 horsemen have stated that the prototypes are still being tweaked. But being under the Ultimates umbrella, they are $45 a piece. At this point, that's just standard pricing. If it's Super7, and if it's Ultimates with an exclamation point, it's going to be $45. And even though that's the basic price for everything, you gotta think this license was expensive as hell. Pre-orders are open for the next month, and ETA is June 2021. Another blasty from the pasty is Madballs making a comeback. Now, I'll admit, I remember Madballs. I was alive during that time, but I was never into them. But Megalopolis is bringing the line back in a big way by stuffing bodies up under the crazy spheres, and I think that was a thing at some point, but again, that requires research, and why would I do that? All of them are about 6 inches tall, and the thick bodies have more articulation than what you expect for bodies of this shape. Each one comes with several sets of meat hooks along with individual accessories. Oculus Orbis has a telescope, magnifying glass, and binoculars, which makes sense now that I say that out loud. Very appropriate for this character. Hornhead has infested turkey leg, a madball mace, and spiked club. Splitting Headache comes with a crowbar, a bone, and a skateboard. Again, things that give you a splitting headache. Very clever. Finally, Bruise Brothers accessories include a boxing glove hand attachment, hornet's nest on a tree branch, a baseball bat, and a removable knife. These are all up for pre-order right now on Megalopolis Toys for $34 a piece with I always forget the dates, spring 2021. And even more interesting, they've announced other lines like Battletoads and Barnyard Commandos. Now, you guys know I am woefully ignorant when it comes to fighting games, so when I string the words Tekken, 7, Jin Kazama together, you can guarantee I have no clue what I'm talking about. I can't say it with much feeling, but I do know that Storm Collectibles puts out nice products, so from that standpoint, I can say, oh, yeah, that's cool. I think it had already been announced that Jin was coming, and the full solicitation gives us a look at all the accessories he comes with. Comes with 3 heads, an array of mitts. You'll notice I'm changing that up. There's only so many times during a video I can say, oh, it comes with a bunch of hands. And an awesome looking energy effect. In this picture you think, oh, it's a cool little arm enhancer, but then you see the full picture and it's ba-bam! I think that thing is as long as the figure is tall. It's a substantial piece of plastic, and that's always awesome to get as an accessory. $75 set to release Q4 of 2002. I'm sure that's a typo, and it didn't actually release about 1800 years ago, right? Damn it, 2020! Now, I know the Square Enix Marvel variant Bring Arts line isn't for everybody with its high price point and armored looks, but I'll be damned, every time I look at one of these things, I think, oh, man, that's a cool redesign. Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, and now Thor. This figure kind of takes that Ragnarok Kirby feel and shoves it through a modern tech filter. Thor's basic elements are there, but it's all augmented by sharp angles and muted colors. Except for the cape. You always gotta have that bright red cape. I also dig the tweaks to both Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, but for some reason the ability to merge them into one weapon is fascinating to me. I don't know, swing it around and you're either getting pummeled by this side or chopped to hell with the other side. Not to even mention the electricity effects and the power and the whew. Like I said, it's up there in price at $135, but if you're in the market for unique redesigns of your favorite Marvel characters, this is set to release in January of 2021. Hey, surprise! Robo don't know Halo either. I've always been a PlayStation kind of guy since the PS1. I've just stuck with it. That was my thing, and don't you judge me. Either way, the Jazwares Halo Spartan Collection Master Chief and Mark V and Cat all went up for pre-order on GameStop this week. The descriptions say 6.5 inches. I don't know if that's referring to scale or they all stand at 6.5 inches, but I saw these in person at Toy Fair and, hey, they look good. I can't say how accurate they are, not knowing the source material, but from the standpoint of, hey, I'm an action figure fan, those are action figures, they look like pretty good action figures. That's all I got. $20 scheduled for October. Also from Jazwares, last week we saw pretty promotional pictures of the Fortnite Legendary Series Doggo and P1000. This week we get Amazon listings. That means more pictures. I'm not sure if P1000 actually ever went up for pre-order. The listing is there, but I was able to secure a Doggo, and just this morning I got charged for that, and it should be here in a couple days. That's, again, a crazy thing about the Jazwares Fortnite line. You see them, you order them, you get them, all within the span of a week, and there's just something magical and nostalgic about that. Like I said last week, these two are wacky and wild enough that I need them for my Fwoosh kill crew, consisting of Peely and Fish Stick and Beef Boss, and maybe Tomato Head when I get him open. I know P1000 is actually Peely, but in my world, it's gonna be a good-hearted banana person who died and then was stuffed into a robotic death machine. Look at this picture. Tell me it is not struggling with the constructs of right and wrong. The illusion of heaven and hell, the ramifications of being forced to do evil while trying to maintain a righteous soul. And then Doggo, he was always a good boy, until his human family was killed by an out-of-control dog food truck. Now he lashes out at a world that wronged him, laying waste to anything in front of him, path of destruction to his back. The only good memories peeking through the fog comes in the form of his dog dish. It reminds him of happier days. Or, you know, something like that. That is the kick-ass thing about this line. I absolutely do not care about Fortnite, but I look at these toys and it just sets the imagination running. And they're such good designs and they're good action figures, except for the hands. We're not going to talk about that here because I'm having a good time. Basically, fun. And we need more fun these days. This is the third week in a row that I've gotten to talk about ThreeZero's DLX Transformers Siege line. First was Optimus, an insanely articulated 11-inch mound of magnificent metal in the form of an Autobot, quickly followed the next week by a prototype of the flip side of the coin, Megatron. This week we get the full solicitation and pictures of the painted prototype of the leader of the Decepticons. That's a fast turnaround. Hey, I want the... But just look at this glorious bastard right here. All the heavier damage is actually sculpted into the figure, like up on the chest with the scrapes, and then the dirtiness and the paint job. Oh, I gotta do it. Mwah. I mean, just look how well done the edges are here, looking more like highlights than paintwork, and then the gray dry brush brings so much depth to an already sharp sculpt. Again, this is a prototype, it's hand painted, so some of that may be lost in production. But if the DLX Bumblebee movie, Optimus Prime, is any gauge, you're not gonna lose a lot of it. I mean, this thing is a work of art. It's amazing. Also, the eyes and the torso lights, at first I thought they were paintwork, then I read the description. Those are actually LEDs, and they light up. You can even take the tank treads off the back for a cleaner look. Every time I turn around these days, there are amazing looking Transformers. Usually Optimus Prime and then now Megatron. $179, and yes, that price is comparable to the Toys Alliance MAS Transformers, but hey, choose your poison. Options are good. If you don't like this and you want the other one, go buy that. this is for those who want more CG or smaller and fits on the shelf. You know, and this should hit Q1 of 2021. Over in the realm of Hasbro Transformers, there's been an update for the HasLab Unicron. Every time they post new pictures of this thing, I snap back to the reality of, shit, I bought this and I have absolutely no place to put it. The article talks about it taking over an 8-foot dining room table, and I'm over here struggling to find places for my regular Siege figures. And oh, we have so many problems. Another thing that jumps out at me in the article is the instruction booklet is 32 pages long. It also talks about how Mark, the graphic designer who designed the instruction booklet, it takes him an hour to transform Unicron using the instructions he himself designed. Longer if he doesn't use the instructions. That's not a toy. That's an afternoon project. What are you doing today, honey? Oh, nothing, just playing with my Unicron. Oh, you want me to pull the car out of the garage so you have enough room for it? Yes, dear, I would like that. Could you pack me a lunch, too? It's gonna be a while. You don't just walk in and play with this thing, you put it on the calendar. For the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified series, the Cobra Island assortment at Target is still hard to find, but that August 14th release date is right around the corner, so we're all hoping for the best. There's still a lack of communication between Hasbro and Target corporate and employees, and somewhere in there it's just been a jumbled mess. I mean, they said it would be in store August 1st. There's been a lot of bumpies there. On top of that, some Targets are seeing a release of Wave 2 with Gung Ho, Cobra Commander, and the Red Ninja. Slow down, Hasbro! But that's just another reason to keep an eye on the toy aisle. But at the same time, let's be nice to employees, okay? I know not all employees are the nicest in the world, but a lot of them are still just trying to do their jobs. They look at it and go, oh, this says this, and I value my job. Again, the miscommunication is up there. That is not the employee's fault. So, yeah, let's remember that when we're in the aisle. Also, apparently to keep us on our toes, Beachhead comes in 2 different eye colors. There's brown and there's blue. Very subtle variant, but if you're into that kind of thing, or you have a preference on Sneeden's Peepers, then there you go. Another item that just started showing up at Targets this week is the Marvel Legends Legendary Riders Punisher. I had almost forgotten about this after seeing it at Toy Fair, so it's cool to see it trickling out. But then for Marvel Monday this week, it went up for pre-order at all the usual sites, like, you know, Dorkside Toys. That'll run you $40. If you don't find it in Target now, you pre-order it online. It's set to release in September. But the big drop for Marvel Monday was the Marvel Legends 2-pack of Rogue and Pyro. Rumors had already been twirling. It was listed in a description of another product, and all the signs pointed at being a movie set, but nope, swerve, it's comic book. I didn't read Utopia, but I like this look for Rogue. It kind of calls back to her original costume. Not as much as the costume before this. I think it was Uncanny Avengers or something like that, and then the costume after this, but the green and white look nice together. And I also think they prototyped this back in 2014, 15, somewhere in there, but then she was canceled. For Pyro, it's a much needed redo of the Toy Biz one. That one was always scrawny and spindly and joiny, which does bring up some of the problems people have with this set. First, some were hoping for a re-release of the Jim Lee Rogue, especially after the yellow gloves were teased in a live stream. That seems like a good option for a vintage card release. I still feel like that is coming because a lot of people missed out on that Jim Lee Rogue, mostly because, was that at the time that Toys R Us was closing? Yeah, either way, she's hard to get now. For Pyro, I'm seeing various gripes. And I say gripes, everybody has their preferences. I have no problem with anybody going, oh, that body is too thick for Pyro. All I can do is look at it through my eyes, and it's only standing next to Rogue. I look at Sunfire on the shelf, I think they share bodies, and he doesn't look overly thick. It's a good Sunfire body, so I'm good with Pyro using this body. I also think that's accentuated by the big honkin' shoulder pads and chest piece. To the fire hose accessories, and I say fire hose just because it's fire that comes from a hose. They reused some flame effects that go over the hands, which Pyro shot flames out of his fire hoses. What's the word I'm looking for here? Not fire extinguisher. Flamethrower. There we go. Yeah. They even put a hole in the end of the hose like it was originally meant to have something plug in. But Pyro's power is to control fire, so maybe it shot out and he's already done the damage, and now he's mentally holding some fire around his hands without actually touching them, and he's getting ready for next thing. Am I justifying a corporate decision? Yes, but I also like this set. So, because I actually have a gripe, and that is the face. Not so much the serious face, well, the more serious face, but the, ooh, dastardly grinning face, I'm evil, ugh. It just looks so smushed vertically. I can't help thinking, and I'm shitty at photo editing, but if you raise the eyebrows and the lenses just a bit, it makes it a little more realistic. Because that may be my problem. It seems unrealistic, but then just this morning I was watching wrestling news and a picture of former WWE co-president George Barrios popped up, and it is uncanny how close this is to looking like this dude in a Pyro costume. So I can't really say unrealistic, huh? Because a dude in the real world shares this face. We look at action figures and we automatically want that perfect look that, you know, oh, this is supposed to be here and this is supposed to be here. That's not true for everybody in the world. It is a fan channel set available on Dorkside Toys, Big Bad Toy Store, Hasbro Pulse, but the price is $50. Is that kind of a creeping up? Are we going to start seeing price hikes more and more in the Marvel Legends line? Who knows? And that is it for this week. Less stuff means more ramblings. Why can't I just say, here's this, here's the price, here's when it releases, done. I can't do it. I like toys too much. I just gotta, you know, oh, ooh. If you're interested in seeing any of these pictures closer without me in front of them all disco dancing, I'll be posting all of that along with links and pre-orders and more information on the Fwoosh front page noon on Saturday. And you know what? I gotta get this off my chest. G.I. Joe has taken over my collecting mentality. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I was a fan of the cartoon back in the day, I read some of the comics but didn't get a lot of the toys. I think that is affecting the current status of me buying action figures because I think, oh, I like that as a kid, but I didn't ever have it in plastic form. I'm doing that now. It's almost to the point where I'm cutting back on, which I needed to do anyway. We've been talking about this for months. I'm cutting back on Marvel Legends. I think I'm just getting the X-Men. Although, unfortunately, Hasbro seems to be putting a huge focus on X-Men for the immediate future, so that doesn't help at all. NECA seems to be taking measures to make it easier for us to get the Turtle figures, but I think they've already made the cut. I like them, and I like looking at them, but if something's got to give, I've got a lot of Turtle toys already. G.I. Joe is... I was already buying just the Transformers I know from G1 back when I watched it as a kid, but even that's going to be scaled back a little. Or maybe I'm just talking a lot of shit right now because I want more G.I. Joes. And then in the store, when I don't see G.I. Joes, oh, hello Transformers, my old friend. Marvel Legends, please and thank you. So basically, in the words of the great poet, I am just a dog chasing cars. If you enjoyed this Fwoosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. I've got a buzzing light, and I don't think the microphone can pick it up, but I can hear it. And it's just a constant...